I've got one more for you. I'm going to phrase it very carefully. And I think this is a hot take, because I actually do think this player gets even like... I don't think he gets flamed much by analysts, but I feel like fans are way too casual. They're always against this player. I'll phrase it very carefully, because I'm probably going to do a video on this topic soon. The phrasing goes like this. After seeing his career thus far, which, by the way, if people don't know, this guy was playing in like 2018, 2019 too, blameF cannot possibly be, in any context, a bad, average, below par. He is in no... I don't know if he's actually a true star. That's what I'm actually going to investigate in my video. But, like, he cannot be a bad player and he cannot be selfish. And the reason I say that is this. One thing I think is a really stupid set of principles that everyone just accepts as a given is, you know, that classic line people always said about, like, Simple's teammates, where they go, well, there's only so many kills in the game. It's like, do you not even know arithmetic? Like, there's 5 kills every round in theory, and you're not winning 16-0, so you're already at, like, what, 100 and... I think it'd be like 125 or something if you played like a 16-9 game. What are you talking about? Like, it's not like he dropped 80 and there was 40 left for us all. Like, even a 40 bomb, which is insane, there's loads of kills left. Like, that whole thing, in my opinion, is one of those, like, that's like, it's almost like sophistry. It sounds like it makes sense until you think about it. It doesn't really make any sense at all. Like, absolutely. Unless, like, 3 of your teammates score 28 kills each, there are kills available every game for every player in every role, minus the odd game where you're the B anchor, CT Mirage rotator, and they just go A every single round, and then all your teammates die. Maybe in that game, you cannot find a kill or an opportunity, but if you're a normal player, there are. So the reason I bring this up is because people are doing this thing, which I'm going to use an extreme example, because you're going to think, holy, but that guy was legit. This reminds me of how they used to critique Device. When Device hadn't won majors, people said shit like, all he does is kill the anti-ecos. He is just saving all the time. He's just getting exit kills. And I always used to tell people, how many fucking exit kills are in these games? You can't average like 30 frags a game with exit. What are you talking about? Like, what sort of insane conspiracy theory are you on, where it's almost like in American sports where, you know, if you hit certain like stats, you unlock your bonus, and sometimes they cynically like pad rebounds to get the ball. That doesn't exist in Counter-Strike, guys. So my problem is, I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to do a solo video. I'm actually going to explore how good is he. I'm going to actually like put my balls on the table on that one. But essentially, I'll tell you right now from what I've seen, he cannot be a bad player. Like, you cannot produce at the level he, and think about this as well. He's done it in all scenarios, guys. He did it when he was the IGL of Call with a sus lineup. Then he did it when he was on the one when Glaive and him and Config were there. Then he did it when Config was kicked and Device came back and Glaive was the IGL. And now he's doing it as the IGL without Glaive. So in all scenarios, mate, it doesn't matter. Essentially, I actually believe, this is how I know this guy's a good player. He is plug and play. Now, it's true, you have to play around him, but you could drop this guy into any team, in my opinion. He could play his style and he would produce numbers. I don't know how much you'd win. Like, I don't think it's an incredibly high impact style. I'm not going to go that far, but I don't think you, like, I think essentially this guy is undervalued for the production that he provides. Like, if I tell you as a coach, Kassad, like, obviously I'm going to give you other pieces as well, but I've got this guy who's a lurker. He's got a bit of a defensive mentality, but he always gives you numbers. Mate, I can use that. You can fucking get cooking with that. That's something you can do with a team. There's plenty of teams out there where production's actually the problem. Like, put it this way, that new TSM lineup we're talking about, it has a bunch of good players. Where the fuck are the frags going to come from? Where's my reliable 20 kills? It isn't there really, right? It's like, they're all like role players. So, come on then. Is someone going to push back against me on this one?
Yes, absolutely.
You blameF hater? Come on.
I'm not a hater. The thing is, like, is he a bad player? No, he's not a bad player. But I would take NAF any day of the week before Blame. Any day. I would take JKS before Blame. You're saying, you're mentioning exit kills, but they're not only exit kills. They're eco kills. Did you see the graphic that somebody made on Twitter? I can't remember who, where like the number of eco kills, you know, disparity between the players is just crazy. That blameF is just way up there with Nico.
That sounds like a skill. Because one, notice you just said Nico there. Mate, where do you fight? Well, you go in a game and all you have to do with it, Kassad, is avoid all real fights. Just farm eco kills. Mate, they don't just fucking spawn and run into you like zergs.
Yeah,
like,
but you have a superior weapon, and you have flashes and support grenades. They're sitting against you.
Here's my problem. Every fucking fan of every team that isn't top 3 right now is constantly complaining, oh, we lost to bloody pistols again. Tell you what, mate, with Device and blameF, you never lose to pistols. Those guys always get those.
You lose to Deagles. You lose to 5-7s. You lose to CZs. Just watch your games. Just watch the games where he enters against Glocks, against USPs. and compare it with Deagles, CZs, then compare it to rifles. He never goes in with rifles, very, very rarely. Those are the eco kills, those are the exit kills, when he saves exit kills. Not mentioning the kills where they win the round and chase people down. Like, for example, you win a round on B, and then he's going to short and catch somebody crossing on A side and kills him, or somebody kills his mate and he traces that kill, or something like that. Let's talk about the high impact. It's so easy to counter. Like, if you play Astralis right now on Mirage, and they do a mid default and they finish B, my advice to my connector player is like, do not fucking move until you see the C4 or until blameF goes through connector and tries to flank you. blameF is never going with a group where he has a rifle. blameF is never going with a group when they have like a slow default into an A take. He's always on the other side 100% of the times, the same way Getry did it, the same way Happy did it, the same way bunch of Robs is doing it right now. Never ever beat a group. That's the counter. You just wait. He's going to come in. What pisses me off with blameF is the fact that he's sharper as a fucking player than 95% of the players out there. And instead of mixing, he makes it more versatile and harder to counter. He keeps doing the same thing. And that's, at the end of the day, it's going to hurt you more than it's going to benefit you. I don't care about your 20 frags if there is only 6 high-impact kills and 7 fucking exit frags and then 7 more or 6 more eco frags. That doesn't fucking make any difference to me whatsoever. Yes, some of them will come against the Eagles as well, but overall, when in the big sample, I don't think it's getting you like what you need to do. That's why I would take Robs, that's why I would take JKS, that's why I would take NAF before all of them, because I know that he's going to switch up his rotations. I never see blameF over-rotate on the other side, on the CT side, to help out and, you know, kind of reinforce the side. He's always trying to sneak in somewhere behind someone. Look at Nav's game, how he reinforces the sides when he reads the round properly. And look at the other players as well. That's their value, that's their impact. Nav is going to finish the map with 13 kills, 12 of them high impact. blameF is going to finish with 25 kills with 10 high impact kills, you know, or maybe even less than that. So overall, with your take, blameF is a super sharp player. He's an intelligent player. He is a hard-working player. We all know that. He is just not using 100% of his capabilities to fuck with the opponents. He is making himself easy to read. And if there was any good coaches out there and any good coaching staffs out there that can counter this thing, his efficiency would be decreased by 50%, to say the least. So the
only problem is that last thing you just said there did so much heavy lifting. Like, one, when you were saying that, like, it's so easily countered, mate. So is fucking James playing style, and none of them do it. They all play like, what the hell? He's just saving all the time. It's like, yes, look at the name on the scoreboard, dickhead. First of all, there are no coaches. Like, everyone just plays into everyone's fucking weaknesses and strengths anyway. And then secondly, when you say that, the problem is people are doing this thing from 1.6, which doesn't exist in CSGO. In 1.6, if 5 Glocks rush you and you're far enough back with an M4, you get the spray down, you kill 3 or 4 at least, and essentially that's why we don't count those kills. Those are equal kills. In the modern day, almost no one's ever actually rushing with 5 Glocks. They're going to have like a P250, a Deagle, a CZ, one guy has body armor, someone has a smoke, a flash. Like, dude, those cleanups are way harder. Like, those ones actually can shore your economy up like a motherfucker. And then secondly, even what you were saying there about chasing people down, mate, if I have someone who can reliably chase, I think that has value. I see people chase people all the time and just bleed 3 guns and not even get their gun. Like, people, there's a lot of areas where people are really inefficient. So yeah, so like, you're basically arguing, could he be a better player and would you change? Yeah, obviously. I'm saying, like, when people say he sucks or he's not doing anything, he is. He's not. I don't think he's high impact, but essentially he cannot be a bad player in my opinion. That's my take.
He doesn't suck. He's not a bad player. No. Yeah, I got you there. He's not a bad player. He doesn't suck. He brings a lot of numbers, but I think he uses 70% of his capability.
That's fair. Yeah.
He doesn't understand himself how good he can be and how much more value he can bring by avoiding some of these lurks. Sacrifice 5 fucking eco frags. Sacrifice a couple of saves. Sacrifice those numbers, and you're gonna bring Astralis more value than doing that.
Yes.
That's hard to do because that's your nature. I understand.
Yeah. No, I also do agree, by the way, as a general rule, anyone who has an incredibly defined one-dimensional playing style, just like Kassad says, even if you want to do it and you're good at it, you have to every now and then keep the opponent honest by doing the opposite. Like it is what destroyed people like Happy's game, is that cause, like you said, you're never the one who goes in with the entry pack. If we see you, we know you went there. We now know what the whole round is. Like, you have to even do it, even though it's going to be hard, because it's going to be like the wrong call for you in this round. You have to do it every now and then, I agree, just to keep sort of like keep them guessing, right?
If you want to do it like with a lurk, let's say the A hit on Mirage, instead of lurking from connector, linger around the holes behind your holes player. You do the hit, they go ramp, they go holes, trade, whatever. They're gonna expect you in connector because you threw something that in the beginning of the round, but you stay in holes. Stay in holes as the dead player. They're not gonna expect you there. Change up a little bit. Be a lurker, but change it up a little bit. Maybe on the other side, you be more aggressive lurk, so they're afraid of you coming out of the B holes and killing the short player before everything happens. Like, those type of things that he can improve on and be way more dangerous than he is right now.
Sure.
Right now, he's a fucking menace. He's annoying as fuck to play against, but he can be even more annoying with the proper, slightly adjustments. That's my point. He's not.
By the way, the other thing on this one as well is, if you notice, I'm essentially doing a counter narrative, because what actually annoys me is I used to be the guy who always said he was overrated when he would just put up the numbers in call, and all the plebs did think he was like a top 10 player there. And then I was like, "Whoa, come on, calm down!" Like you're actually not seeing that some of this is like not high impact. Where's Maui on this one? I want to know where you're at on this, Maui. I think it's a tricky one personally. So where you at?
Well, I was trying to say, like, your original point. If you're just looking at fans and what they're saying, then there are too many people that, and even some people that I wouldn't consider like analysts or pundits, but people that have personalities and platforms in this space that do talk about blameF. I do see that there is an unnecessary amount of hatred for how blameF plays the game. And what's interesting about it is, like, I feel like these same people weren't calling out for Rops's head, even though they have such similar styles. So I don't know what it is about blameF's persona that has made so many people just gravitate towards him. It's probably, honestly, it's probably just how he looks. Like, people would rather like see the dude that looks like the schoolyard bully.
He's like the 80s bully and a villain.
Me.
Right, okay.
Yeah, this guy bullied me in middle school and high school, so I want to get back at him by saying his game sucks. But then Rob's got this more meek persona and personality, so it's like, oh, he's one of us. He's one of us. Like, leave him alone. Leave him alone. It's the same with Simple and Zywoo fans completely, actually. But the thing is that in terms of like undervalued, in terms of pay, I can say with certainty with what he was getting on Complexity, he is not undervalued. Like, he was getting so much money with that roster that there's no way that I would say, like, from a GM standpoint, that people are undervaluing him. I think blameF is fantastic. And that stat that you brought up way earlier, Kassad, about the fact that blameF does get a lot of his kills on eco rounds, when that was Vu that published that on Twitter, and he also, just to throw it in your face a little bit, Nico has the highest percentage of his kills against pistols of any player. So in that same study, so Nico's the one that of his, it's like total number of eco kills, blameF is getting more, but in terms of total percentage, in terms of all their kills, Nico's getting the most equal.
By the way, I actually think that is impressive because they're riflers, guys. Like, if you're rifling, you take down all the equals, mate, that's mad valuable. I get it when the AWPer does. We all know, like, if you're a million miles back, you get 3 easy kills. To do that consistently as a rifler is really hard.
But also the thing is that I don't think any of these people are bad for doing this. Because of what you've kind of already brought up, Thorin, that it's like traversing a C, like when you're on T side and you have to try to take space against a bunch of 5.7s and deagles, like, it's like you're sweeping a minefield. There's so many booby traps that people have for you now. So if you're able to consistently take down eco kills, I'm okay with that. Like, I don't think that that's like as shameless. I have seen blameF more than other players, though. Just as soon as he hears that single USP fire or Glock, he just gets a bloodlust and he'll just sprint at his opponents and he will try to clean it up. That being said, I think that blameF is, to me, a top 10 rifler without any question. I don't know how high I would put him on that list off the top of my head, but I think he's really, really good at his job. And I also would give him credit, and this is a tangent, I think he's also been calling very well for Astralis too. I think that was something that was brought into question a bit when they were first forming this lineup. It's like, okay, they're switching off Glaive, but can blameF deliver in terms of IGLing? I think their calling's good. I mean, I'm not going to get into the bore-up discussion with this team right now, but I'm a blameF fan. I think blameF is very, very good. But I also can agree with Kassad in that. Could he do more? Yes. And that's kind of what I was saying about Robs. It's like, if you got all that mechanical skill, why aren't you imposing it on your opponents? And then I started having to watch myself eat. Well, I had to eat crow on some of that because I started seeing Robs lurk out a little bit more. He started going for more entries on T side when things stopped working for his team. I wish blameF did it more too.
Like, the analogy for me, the reference point is James. Like, here's the problem. If you think James the best, I think you're an idiot. If you think he sucks, I think you're a mega idiot. Because the point is, it's a really complicated player with a lot of nuance, but they're both really good at their job. They're just not the best. And this is the other reason I compare them. I wouldn't play that style. I don't like that style. But I have to give, if you can sort of make it work, I'll give you credit, you know.
Yeah, just one more thing.
Yeah, go on.
It's just you said Maui, that's Nico and the eco frags, and you know when I have.
Come on, I knew it. Come on.
All right, bring it.
I mean, we're going to rename them Nico frags from now on, aren't we? You know, getting some Nikos in. You know,
I can't let it go. The thing is, like, yes, he's up there with pistol frags, but then you said like when blameF hears a pistol sound, he charges in, right? So what does Nico do when he hears an AK sound or an M4 sound, and what does blameF do when he hears an M4 or an AK sound? Who goes in and who goes back? That's the difference between a superstar and not a superstar.
Okay.
So his eco frags are justified, and these ones are.
I like that. Whatever. We'll just end on that because it's just such a ridiculous thought. Like, just end on that. That can be the end thought. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.